the treetops glistening, children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. Feliz Navidad.
Epic fail.
Not yet.
Hey my loves, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Vlogmas. Make sure to subscribe so I can see you back here again. Okay, so in today's video, we are about to break this down step by step. And let me go ahead and start by saying I'm using Final Cut Pro to do this, but it's the same exact steps that I've used with every single editor I've ever used. And what I've used in the past has been Filmora, Vega, Movie Maker, iMovie. I've used so many in the past. I've used so many editors in the past 3 to 4 years on YouTube. So let's break this down step by step on how to create a gorgeous movie or video in 10 minutes or less. Okay, so let's get right to it. First of all, you need to create a new project or whatever. The main thing that you need, know what you are going to be working on. Load up all of your films. I love Final Cut Pro because everything loads up right away. I don't have to wait for it to load. But you save a whole lot of time on your editing by having a pre-made intro, which you will notice in all of my Vlogmas videos. There's a pre-made intro. So next up, after you get your intro, that's kind of what catches your audience's attention. That's what gets them like, oh, this is going to be cute. Oh, it's going to be fun. I want to watch this. So after you get your intro in, you load up your clips. You want to know what your background music is going to be. YouTube has a library full of stuff, and before you say, oh, it's wacko, blah, 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 it's just background music. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to be upbeat and catchy and something to keep the mood going. Next up, I add in all of my clips. I add in everything. I don't go through and sort out before adding because that tends to take up extra time. I add it all in, and then whatever way you have to, you're going to notice I take the volume down. Just like, yep, that's what's happening there. I add in all my clips and get rid of the volume because when I'm doing a voiceover, I want it as clear as possible, and background noise, that's a no-go. So after I finish adding it in, I make sure to check out the sound, and then I want to get an intro after my intro, which is just like, you know how people show themselves like, this is a skincare video that I'm doing, so I just want to show something like, ooh, look at my skin, look how good my skin feels, like that. So that's what's happening here, which is how I felt. I love doing skincare before makeup, so it's definitely my last video that I showed my skincare before makeup. I just pull a clip, Control V is how you copy something. In all of your editors, that command's gonna work, not just with Apple, with anyone. Control C is your copy. So you just copy and paste. All I'm doing, making it or cutting out the section that I want, and then put Control V to paste. Control C, Control V. There are your intros, and that took less than 30 seconds, I want to say. So it is time to move along to add in our music. I add in my music at the beginning to try to see what flow I want to go. And because I'm doing a voiceover, I tend to turn the music down later. But what I'm doing now is just a transition. I usually, for videos like this one, if I want it quick and easy, I add in one transition at the beginning and one transition at the end. The rest, I let it just flow how it would normally flow. When you're trying to do something quick or last minute, this is just a way. You can always add in more transitions. I'm just showing you with the bare minimum, you are going to be able to create an amazing video. Next up, color grading. It's totally a thing, and it upgrades the quality of your video. For my color grading, because I'm using Final Cut, I do get color grades that are already there. If you're using Filmora, they have the best presets. I love Filmora, like more than iMovie. I love Wondershare. And so, but everything, if you're using iMovie, Vega, whatever, all I'm doing is going clip by clip and making sure that my film grade is exactly the same on all of them. And what I'm using is called 90s Cube, and I take it down to about 50%. And all it does, it doesn't even because it's a skincare video, I don't want to give off any false precepts of good skin, anything like that, because I don't have it. What this does is it creates just a little bit richer color. You can see the color come through a little bit better, because if you guys have noticed by now with YouTube, once you upload your video, the colors turn slightly gray. And with a skincare video, I do not want gray skin. So adding this color grading into it just helps take that grayness away. So after I've gone through, I want to make sure everything is the same color. Doesn't matter which preset you choose to use. It's good to kind of stick with a theme that's kind of your signature look for your channel. I love channels that can keep it going. I'm slightly too random, but I'm working on it. And the main reason why you want to do your color grading at the very beginning, and the reason why I don't cut up clips, is because with color grading, if you're going to do this and you wait until the end, it's going to be a nightmare, because by the end of this video, I'll have 50 to 60 clips. And think about color grading those individually. That's the worst thing in the world. Like, you see my video right now, it shows it at 13 minutes long before I've made any cuts. So this is the time. So now what we want to do is just review what we've done so far. I start off at the, well, I didn't mean to do that intro because there's already one in my intro. So now I'm just going over to look how that intro in the beginning of my video sounds and looks. And like, seriously, find an intro that you love. It's so easy. I'll have a whole nother video showing you how to make an intro, because it's easier than you think. You can get the professional quality that you want with minimal tools. So what's happening now, there's a little bit too much drag in that basic part. I hate when people have like 10,000 pictures of their face, like, no, just get right to it, girl. So I cut back a little bit of that intro, made sure that my music is lined up with it. It's okay to go back and forth as many times as you want to check it out. But after I finished up with that, it is time to get into the cutting process. And that part, I don't know, for some it's daunting. For me, not so much. And hopefully after you watch this video, it won't be so scary. What I do is I let my video run, cut up any excess. I do not, and this is just me, I tend to skip videos when people start apologizing for living, when they're like, oh, I'm sorry, I haven't been here in a while. Sorry. I can't handle 10,000 sorries. Let's get to it. I came to see how to do skincare. Let's do skincare. So anything before me doing skincare gets cut out. Hopefully I don't eat these words later, but I can't handle long intros. So what I'm doing, you see my Clarisonic, you see the cleanser that I'm using. Anything extra, me playing around, it gets cut out. And sometimes I leave it in because I like to show you guys my personality, but I don't want to waste your time. That's kind of the key with this. I don't want to waste your time with, if I'm saying I'm showing you skincare before makeup, I'm going to show you that. I'm showing you how to edit in 10 minutes or less, I'm going to show you that. So what I'm doing now is going through, finding out how long that I'm washing my face. I cut out the excess. I go back to where I was washing my face and I fast forward it. ×2, sometimes ×4. This one I wanted to break down and show you guys how I'm doing my skincare. So I cut that down all the way so you see it, but I don't know, there's a rewind button. You don't have to watch it in slow motion with me. Next up, I'm showing you the peel that I use on my face. Anything before the peel gets cut out. It's not needed. Like, it ends up being dry space, filler space, time for your audience to abandon you. And this is all about, with YouTube, it's all about audience retention, making sure you're bringing the people what they want. A bunch of apologies and 10,000 dance moves in the mirror. Just make a dancing video for that, and that's totally cool too. But I'm showing you the peel, so I'm going to show you how I use the peel, and then I'm going to cut the rest. You see I'm smiling and showing. I always put in just a little bit of me smiling after, and that's okay. A quick and brief transition, and then the clip of me using the peel gets fast forwarded. Not all the way, it doesn't have to be crazy. Like, I've watched videos where I get dizzy because people are fast forwarding so much. Just ×2 is fine, that's no problem. And make sure you have the volume all the way off when you're fast forwarding. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine. Whenever you hear that, just turn the volume down and it's totally okay. So after I go through, next I'm showing how I wipe off the peel that I did on my face. So I go through, I show the wipe, I click everything, I delete everything that is not dealing with me wiping that stuff off my face, and that I delete ×4 because everybody knows how to wipe stuff off of their face. So the main thing is know your focus, know your goal, know what you want to show. Erase everything that is not showing what your goal is. Like, have a goal in mind at the end of every single video that you upload. If it's a makeup tutorial, make sure that you are staying on task. It's so easy to fall off task and just put the brush down completely. And while some people like long videos, and if that's your jam, then cool, keep it in there. But if you want to have a quick video up in no time, cut out all the excess. Like, this is just pretty much a no-nonsense guide to being able to upload in 10 minutes. Like, I hear a ton of complaints every single day when people say, I had to stay up till 3 and 4 in the morning. Why? Like, always make sure you are on task. If you stay on task, it'll cut out a ton of extra time. Like, I love you guys, and I want to give y'all quality product. So, in order to give y'all the best of me, I am so random. I need to stay on point. And if I say I'm showing you something, that's exactly what I want to show you. YouTube is an everyday thing for me. So if I want to do a talking video, we'll do that next. If you want to learn more about my personality, come over to my talking video. But for now, we said we're doing skincare. Let's do skincare. It just cuts out a whole lot of time. So let me go ahead. I'm going to skip forward because all I'm doing is the same thing I told you. Doing what I say and then cutting forward. So give me 1 second, y'all. Okay, so now that I am back, all of my clips are done, everything is done. It is time to cut out the very last. I do a little wave, blow a little kiss, and that is the end of the video. But you always want to have a call to action at the end. You always want to make sure that your music is streaming all the way through. But the main thing you want to have at the end is an end screen. And how I do this is why I say, it doesn't have to be fancy. Sometimes I do get fancy and I love that, but it's not necessary. I love playing with color, and one of my favorite things to do is just getting the custom box from Final Cut, or you can get any color that you want from any online editor or any online backgrounds that you like that are free. I add that color in and I cut out the rest of the music. This is the very end of the video, and I give it at least 10 seconds so that I can add my video or end screen on YouTube. Then I make sure to fade out my music, make sure to, I do a transition, like I said, one transition at the beginning, one at the end, and that's just the basics. Right now, I think I am adding in the little pretty bubbles from Final Cut Pro. If y'all want more editing videos or things for me to put little freebies from Final Cut Pro that you can use without having to install the program, let me know and I'll totally be happy to share it with you guys. So yeah, now that I have my background done, I make sure to add in the words, and main thing that I make sure and that you want to make sure that your audience knows what you want. It's like that call to action or the clincher at the end, and how I pretty much do it is like and subscribe, or just subscribe, whatever one you want to do, and you can put your channel name at the end if you want, but subscribe and like is no problem. And that's the biggest thing. Make sure to put it in a nice pretty font. My fonts, that's another thing. I get my fonts from dafont.com. That's DAFONT. Not sponsored or anything, but I would love if they would send me a check. Anyway, Dafont is completely free. I download it cautiously, always making sure to make sure they're legit. I actually might do a video showing you my favorite fonts from Dafont because there are thousands or maybe millions to choose from. So yeah, once I get my subscribe at the end, you always want to make sure to claim ownership of your video, because as happening more and more, channels are taking our content. So throughout my video, I make sure to have my name somewhere on the video, so it makes it a little bit harder for somebody to steal it, though I don't know who would want to. You just want to always make sure you have your signature on your stuff. But once I make sure to get my signature, get it big enough to where it's taken up a good chunk of it so it cannot be easily stolen, I change up the color of it, put a little shadow so it stands out a little bit more. And that's it. Y'all, this would have taken a whole lot less time if I wasn't talking through it, but because I was, it's taken roughly 15 minutes. Without the talking, it would be 10 minutes. And this is my how-to guide for how to edit a video in 10 minutes. I hope that you loved it, because I loved it. Stay tuned for more of my favorites on Vlogmas and how-tos, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.